Hey everyone, welcome back here. I'm here to discuss with you how you can pass data from child Lightning Web Component to parent Lightning Web Component. So and also we will be discussing that what all things we will be needing to do so, and I will be showing you the implementation as well. And while implementing the things, means we'll try to discuss everything which will come on our way to means like the in detail we will be discussing there. Here we will be discussing at very high level. So first question, the answer of the first question is like how we can do so. Means pass data from child to parent. So that is the custom event. So we have to create one custom event, and we have to fire that event from our child components JavaScript class. Okay, and we have to somewhere means where we wanted to get data, there we have to handle that event, means we have to capture that event there. So in our scenario, the child component should be the child component will be the event source, like that is going to generate our event, and the destination would be the parent, which is going to handle our event, the dispatch event. Okay, and so what all things to implement this scenario, we will be needing two components. Okay, one will be playing the role of a parent and other will be playing the role of child, and we will be needing the property. Means in the property we used to store the data, so we will be needing the property in our parent, must need it, because they are going to hold the value. Okay, and we will be needing we have to create custom events, we have to dispatch it, and we have to handle it in our parent. So let's start with the implementation, and we'll get to know in detail there. So let's start. So for that we will be needing two components. So for that I have created one component, that is I have named it parent lwc com. Okay, so in my previous video I have shared like means I mean, try to avoid, use the reserve word while keeping the name of your component. So mistakenly I have taken, but here what I have done, I have kept every word with LWC. So whenever we are going to use it in any component, so LWC, like, or it will be treating it as a three word LWC. So every word get separated by hyphen, so it will not cause issue. But if we'll be keeping it, L in caps and W and C in a small, so that will be treating it as a single word, so may that cause issue, like because we have a reserved word for that. So now this is the other part, but I covered it. So now moving to our topic, like I have created one parent and parent components. Once you will create the parent components, this file get generated. So in the HTML file, the now I have generated parent. Now second is child component. We will be needing two components, so I created those second components, that is called the child lwc com. Okay, after that I will be needing property that is going to hold my data, that will come from my child component. So in the parent component I will go and I will show you that in like in LWC we used to declare attribute property in our JS file. So I have declared these two fields, parent var and parent name num. Okay, and then the second step is like the further steps is like we will be going to our child JS child component, and there I have put down some message so that we can easily identify that this child component is imported in our parent. So that's why I put down this, and I have added one input type, text field, and it will be taking input from us, from user. And I have implemented one on blur event, because from this event only we'll able to fire the custom event. So that's why whenever we will change in this field, we will be capturing those data and will sending that data to our parent data. Okay, so in the now I have defined this. So like in the handle change, just go to that JS file of my child component. So go and come here, means just go down here, and you see here I have declared one childware, which I have mapped here in my HTML, sorry, in HTML childware. Okay, and further, if you see in my handle change event, which I have, which is playing a role of handler for on blur event. So here, if you see, I have whatever in LWC, if any changes, means the data used to flow from JavaScript to your view in HTML. If any changes we are making in a view, then we have to explicitly map that value with the our JavaScript property. Okay, so that's why I have from the event I'm getting that value, and assigning it back to my childware. This represent the current context, current instance of that class. So that's why I added this. If you did not add this, then you will face some error, like it's not able to find its reference or something kind of. So add it. So further now, the further steps is like we have to create event, which we will be firing custom event, which we will be firing from my child components. Okay, so this is the custom. We have to create custom event constructor. Okay, the constructor used to take two arguments. One is a mandatory argument, that is the event type. Event type is nothing but you can relate it with the predefined events like on blur, on change, on thing. So this is the same thing, event type, child event. Okay, so child event, the naming convention of this should be, it used to it is always a string type. The first parameter of it, custom event, is string type, and it should be in a small case. It should not contain any hyphen or anything, and it should not be prefixes with the on, because LWC following the standard DOM event mechanism. So if in the DOM event standard mechanism is like on change on, these all are, it's a standard DOM event come in the standard DOM event management. Okay, so here it is LWC also following the same. Means wherever we are going to handle it, like in my parent, so in the parent the event type name should be there, and it should be prefixed with on. So in the basis of this only, the thing is going to bind. On the basis of event type, our handler is going to handle. On the basis of event type, the event dispatch event is going to be handled in our parent type. I will be show you that, then you will able to relate the things easily. So this is my first parameter. Second parameter is like why we are doing this, to share data. So second parameter will hold the data. Okay, you can pass here the simple primitive data types, and also you can pass the object. So here I have try to pass here primitive data type, because in case of object, the thing used to be, the detail used to be shared by reference, like both you know either try to share the shallow copy. Like I am not using the property, I am not directly passing the childware, so I am safe. But if you are going to pass this value directly, so anything changes happen in our parent in this, in regards to this variable, this property, that is going to reflect in our child as well. So that is the other part, so ignore that for now. So this detail will be containing the data which we are going to share. So in this scenario, I am passing test property, and value will be whatever I am putting in the text field, and this property will I am passing the hard coded value number. Okay, these two data, and preparing this, this is will be treated as an object. This will be treated as an object by this, because I have put on inside the curly braces. And now the type of detail would be object. Okay, if I am passing it simple string, so it will be the string type, and simple primitive, then it will be primitive data type. So it's a JavaScript property. So ignore about that. So now I have prepare my event in my child. Okay, this part. Okay, now we have to fire it. So we have through the dispatch event. It is a method of event target. So this through this dispatch event will able to fire my event. Okay, so and this will be the syntax, this dot dispatch event. Okay, and now once this handle change will call, and this handle change handle is going to create my event and going to dispatch the event. Now we have dispatched the event, so somewhere we have to handle it. Okay, so that place is my parent, because in the parent I wanted the data. So go to my parent JS. Okay, so in the parent JS, sorry, in the parent, if you go, so firstly means we have to import our our that child. So I have imported it, and like I said, event type is playing the main role of binding of event, custom event, and means I mean, through this we'll able to bind our event source with the destination or with the handler. Okay, so this were, if you see in my, if you go to back and see the event type in my custom event, so you'll notice that I have kept this name. And like it's following the DOM event mechanism, so the LWC used to put on. So this way means wherever you are going to handle it, so always put on before your event type. And the function or handler uh, function you have to define here, that method should be in the in the parent component JS. So this is my component JS, that method. And here what I am doing, like now my, like the event is fired and this is handled by this method. This is this event is going bind with this my event event. Okay, child on child event, and after binding, this method is going to call assign data from child to parent. So in the child to parent, like it holds the parameter event, and through the event object, like in the detail we sent. And also you saw that there I've added some parameter like test1 and test2. So accordingly I will assign the value to my field which I have defined here. So now the flow is complete, like we have sent data from child, and in the parent I am getting that data through my event. Okay, so this is all the implementation. And will now it's time to define that where I am going to use my component. So to do so, I will be moving to my meta files, and I will be making true to is exposed master label I have added. And because this, through this name only I'll able to find it, my component in the app builder, and I'm going to use it on the record page. So this is just an example. Okay, means if you talk about my template class, means template HTML file, so here I have just put it some sample tag, means paragraph. It's just to show you that how data flow. It's not regarding that how many tags, how many input fields, how many output fields, how you design your UI. So I'm not bothering about this. You can make I mean, you can add as much hashtag as per your requirements, and in future also I'm going to make video on those. So mainly my mainly focus was like how data is flowing from child to parent. So that's all. So this the things we discussed just, so that you know that will fulfill our requirements, like the agenda which we have decided for this session. So now moving to the my UI to show you that how it is happening. So for that I'm going to add my this component inside my contact record page. So okay, so I'm going to import my component. So so what name I will be using, I will be using this name to import this child, to find it in builder. So look, I'm going to drop it on my record page. Let's save it. It's saving. got saved. Let me move to that record page. If you go to here in my parent HTML file, see here I have printed URL component, and I am printing that variables, that property which we are getting from my child, the value for which we are getting, the value which we are getting from child. So let's, so firstly it will be printing blank, but once we enter the value in the, the child component text field, so it will pick that one, and like handler I have called for this. So in handle I am preparing my custom event and passing those. So once on blur event, these thing is happening. So once I move my cursor from that text field, so it's going to populate my value. So in the second number field will be always 2 because I'm passing the hard coded value. Just let's move on this. So this is my text field, child input field. You are in a child com and child input field. Currently if you see here, nothing is printed. So like I blurred here, so that's why it gone here. So let me put here, uh, this is okay, this is now if you see here, this has print. Okay, this is hard value, so this is not going to remove, not going to update. If it will be also dynamic, like in you create a, this kind of field and you enter this value and mapping it with that, so that is the, in that case, it is going to also change, but it is hard coded, so it is not going to change, or the refresh. So let me, so this is the way we pass data from our child to parent components. So hope you will find it helpful, and if you find it helpful, then hit the like button, and if possible subscribe my channel. And yeah, thank you so much for being here.